Meeting come to order. Call the roll.
Commissioner Vanella.
Here.
Commissioner Hightower.
Here.
Commissioner Webb.
Here.
Commissioner Goss.
Here.
Mayor Butler.
Here. Any additional correction to the minutes of September the 26th? If not, they will be approved. Okay. Okay, under old business, do we have bids to resurface the two city parking lots?
Yes, we do, Mayor. We have, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bidders. No, I'm talking about the hill parking. All right, let's go to the parking lots first, okay. We had 2 bidders. That's for the College and Union parking lot behind here where the Daily Republican used to be, and the one behind the old City Hall, and the alleys going down beside the City Hall. There's
okay.
three units there. We had 2 bids. E.G. Simon's bid came in at $66,761.70. That's for all 3 units. Southern Illinois Asphalt Company came in at $123,388.15.
I don't really think they were serious.
I don't think they won the job.
Just double Simon.
That alleyway is a problem, and we're going to have to tear this whole the parking lot up and start over. It just wore out.
Okay.
So it has to be. And as a side note, the city, we probably have saved them $20,000 because
By doing the work,
Well,
yeah.
we're furnishing the trucks, we're furnishing the rock, and we're doing the sub base. So that saves about $20,000 on this bid.
Okay. How are you going to pay for this?
It's TIF.
We got TIF funds
Yes,
available?
yeah, we certainly.
Okay, that being the case, what is your motion?
Take with the low bid, motion to take the low bid of $66,761.70 from E.T. Simon.
Second.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Vanella.
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower.
Yay.
Commissioner Webb.
Yay.
Commissioner Goss.
Yay.
Mayor Butler.
Yay. Okay. Discussion installing lights on the hill water tower. What do you got going?
Okay, we're in the process of trying to firm this up, Mayor. We talked about it before, about lighting up the water tower on I-57, and we have some tentative prices in. It looks as if we can get in around $14,000. And I would like to have the council approval to spend up to that point if and when we get our firm bids, which should be this week.
Okay,
So
that's
my
your
motion
motion.
to do that, yes. Spend up to $14,000.
Okay.
Is that TIF funds as well, or?
No,
No,
but I think
no
we'll
tip
get
there.
we'll probably get some cooperation from Mr. Bradley on this too.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Vanella.
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower.
Yay.
Commissioner Webb.
Yay.
Commissioner Goss.
Yay.
Mayor Butler.
Yay. Okay.
Bill's hollering mayor at you.
Actually, I'll be here for this too.
Yeah, that,
That's very
the Hill Water Tower is in Marion Heights too.
That's what I was.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I wish we'd have
That's
went
what
for
we got the reimbursement for from when we built it. That's how water department got their reimbursement.
I wish I'd asked for 20,000 now.
Okay, that's good. That's good then. Do we need a motion on that?
No, I don't you approve it, we'll just.
Yeah.
wait it out.
Okay, that's very good then.
Good.
All right, now, what is the water department meter reading system proposed?
Well, a couple months ago when we met and you wanted our wish list for,
Yep.
expenditure of TIF funds, we thought this was our number one priority. Our system's getting old. In fact, you can help me out here anytime, Scott. Our register is,
It's a pulse, or
but
It's what?
it's a pulse read signal with it.
yeah, but the thing of it is, it's no longer going to be made. So, but aside from that, we've have met with 4 different companies, actually 5 if you want to count Verizon, but they quickly got themselves out.
Yeah, okay, so we
of
got
that.
4.
So the committee has brought Zenner tonight. they have a product that I'm going to let them explain that's going to, put us there at, where we need to be in our meter systems and getting our registers or our meters read and then back to the office. From what we're doing now to what this is, it's a
Okay, who's going to explain all this to us?
great jump.
Come right up to the mic.
Hello,
Hello.
my name is Bill Zausch. I'm with Utility Pipe Sales. I'm the president of the company. We're based out of Evansville, Indiana. We're the distributor for Zinner Meter. Matt Steinkamp is going to be presenting. He is our company meter specialist. So I want to give him the floor, but I just wanted to be here in case you had any questions about who Utility Pipe is or anything along those lines. But for now, I'll give Matt
How long you been in business?
We were incorporated in 1981,
81.
35 years.
Little more, you'll have a long gray beard. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Guys, I've got some literature that you guys just wanted to have to see. You're welcome to.
Here.
Be very brief here, and I don't want to be too brief that I'm glossing over something, but please feel free to stop and ask
mic.
any questions that we have about this.
What the
What
mic?
we're, oh, sorry, standing by my toys. What we do and what the type of project that the city is considering here is what we call an AMI or a fixed base radio system. What that would entail is we would put several antennas up around the city, and the water meters with the radios that are in the pits now, the radios would report directly to those antennas. And what that enables is for you guys to get readings back every day. The real advantage of getting readings and that information back to the office daily is it allows for quicker response. If customers have leaks, the next day after a leak starts, the city can be aware that that customer has a leak. They can be notified, and instead of, finding out about the leak when you send them the next bill 28 days later, you can stop that bill in a few hundred gallons instead of a few thousand gallons. And so that's going to hopefully reduce a lot of your customer complaints, issues, people wanting their sewer credited back, and just a lot of the customer service issues that you've always had to deal with. Being able to get the readings back quickly and being able to respond is going to allow the city to be a lot more proactive. It's going to reduce really a lot of meter reading overhead. It's going to simplify the operations. You won't have people manually going out and reading the meters or even driving by in their trucks to get the meter readings. They're just going to come in every day. So it really...
How does that work?
Well, here's basically, it's very similar to what you have now. You're going to have a water meter in your setter, in your pit. This radio is going to hang in the lid. I didn't bring the little lid piece, but this hangs in the lid, kind of like what you have now.
Every meter.
Every meter. And you guys have something similar to this now, an older generation, where the readings would get picked up by the truck. The truck would drive by once a month and get the readings. The big difference is the same type of equipment, a water meter and a radio. This radio is going to chime in to antennas. We'll have about a dozen antennas around town, and they would collect those readings, and then those readings come into the office and actually can be read in a lot of different
How
places.
many readings can you take at one time?
It will take 24 readings a day. So every hour, this radio is going to read the meter.
One gadget. But what happens, you got 100 of these, what happens? Does the antenna catch them all? What?
Absolutely. Yeah, the antennas can handle about 3,000 customers per collector. You'll have about 4 or 5 collectors around town. We've sat down and showed a map. The thing that's kind of unique about our product and the way it works, with most antenna systems, we've got an antenna and it might be able to see 80% of all of those radios, no problem. And that's where ours would work. If the radio wakes up and it can see the antenna, great. It's an A to B conversation. I send it my reading, I get a confirmation, we're good. What's unique about our radios is that with any antenna system, some of these meter pits are going to be on the wrong side of the hill, or there's going to be a tree in front of it, or a building, and I just can't get to the water tower or wherever I've got the antenna. Problem is, with most of them, you'd have to put up another antenna, and you'll spend as much money chasing down the last 15% as you did to get the first 85%. It's, chasing down the ones that have a hard time reading can get expensive. What's nice about our system is each one of these radios, you'll have 8,800 or so throughout the city, all your water meters are repeaters. So if this guy can see the antenna great, I send my readings. But my neighbor is kind of down the hill and it's kind of on the wrong side and he can't see the antenna, but I can see my neighbor, I'll just send my reading across the street to this meter pit, and then this meter pit will send it
That's
in.
done automatically?
It does it automatically. What's nice is that if we came in, in 2017 and got all 8,800 meters reading great, and each one of them's finding the antenna and they're all reporting great, well, in another couple of years, trees grow. People put up buildings. Things in this city change. And if you don't have the ability, we call this a mesh, if you don't have the mesh where they can talk to each other and go a different way, you're always going to be finding a certain percentage that just don't make it, that you're going to have to reread or put up more equipment or put up more antennas because your town's constantly changing. Trees are growing, things are
These are
happening.
hanging in the meter well?
These would be down in the pit, and this hangs on the lid, very similar to what you have now. And so,
I suppose if that's transmitting to your neighbor, your bills are still separate. I
We're
mean,
just gonna talk.
yeah, this is just spitting out digits and digits, and nobody really knows how it's going until it gets into the collector. And so that's,
Heck, right?
the big advantage with what the mesh allows, the fact that we have neighbors that talk to each other, can help the bad spots get through, help its neighbors, is that we can put up our antennas on existing city infrastructure, on water towers that you already have. Tornado sirens, you guys have tornado sirens spread out throughout the city. Those work great. City Hall, you have an antenna up here, the police station, any facility that you guys already have, we just put up one of our antennas on it. The antenna, I didn't bring it, it's about the size of a dictionary. Stick it on the wall, plug it in, and it's good to go. Zenner maintains all of that. We maintain it, we keep it working. It's all under warranty with our service contract. And, myself being I'm our meter specialist here, I live in Evansville, and we're always around. If there are issues, if there are any kind of maintenance, we can come out and be on hand, same day, next day, and really get you guys up and running if there are
What
any
is the
issues.
low price for all of this?
To be real honest, we've got several different proposals. I'd almost have to defer to Scott on where we're at with the pricing.
Right now, we're looking at 1.6 million.
Ooh.
How'd that hit you?
I thought we said low price.
It's a low me, that's what he meant.
You didn't see the other four proposals. This is the low price.
Yeah. But I mean, when we talked about what was available back to us, 1.7, in that, yeah, in that price range there, but, and something else he didn't mention, probably the meter system that we have now starts at a half, maybe 3/4 of a gallon, maybe more than that. This starts picking up water flow at 1/10 of a gallon. So now, with that being said, we're going to start getting money revenues off of all our water that goes through these. Our customers are probably, well, undoubtedly going to see maybe could be a couple $1 increase in their bill because all the water that's going through the meter is virtually being collected and then thus billed. Another thing that helps is on our unaccounted for water. which, we've struggled with for years, in knowing what that is. And, we're buying water from Wren Lake. We buy this water, but what is billed to us, maybe, and well, undoubtedly is not being returned to us in revenue because it's
Totally.
lost. Yes, totally so. And like I said,
Okay, what were the high bidders? What were their figures?
Yeah, census, and there are about 4 or 5. I know Tracy's doing our bookkeeper.
Badger was, well, we have Badger meter bases. But they had a point-to-point, and then they wanted to go through cellular. To give you an idea about that one, they was gonna charge us $96,000 a year just for a cellular phone bill.
Yeah, but what was their price?
About $2.1 million.
Okay, what was the next one?
Itron, they really wasn't any, and I'm not cutting any of these companies down.
No, they're just too high. that's all.
No. They may not have been too high. They weren't compatible with us. This particular company, we would have had to have 3 different screens for our workers in the water office just to figure, what was coming back into them. And then, Verizon, this is kind of funny, they come in with a $220-some-odd-thousand cellular bill, and we
Was that
said,
annual?
yes, yeah, forever. And we said, well, how can that be? Because Badger can go through you for only $91,000, but we haven't heard back from them.
Okay, what is your annual fee?
Good call.
Our annual fees will just be the maintenance for maintaining this, right at about 17,000.
Yeah.
17 to, I'd have to look.
We're not,
Oh, is it even less than
we're not
that?
voting on this tonight.
We're doing the self-hosted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Then that
we're
makes a
gonna
big difference.
self-host.
So you say this take 24 readings a day? Does that streamline the payment process, or not the payment, the bill process?
Well, what that's going to allow, the neat thing about having readings in every day is right now, you start your route, and if it takes you 2 or 3 days to read,
Right.
depending on the weekends and holidays, you're going to be somewhere around 30, 31, 28 days. The readings are there every day.
So it'd be more
the
consistent.
city can just decide, we're going to bill as of the 15th every month, or the 21st, or whatever date, and then every bill will be 30, 31 days. And you're going to have consistent bill periods, and,
Well, to go further with what you was talking about, it used to take us 2 days to read, maybe 2.5. If the first was on a Thursday, then we didn't read till Monday, so we could get consecutive days. Now, that first Monday of the month, or if the first is on a Friday, we don't care,
yeah,
we bill.
if,
That's the great thing about this. We don't have to worry about consecutive days. We can bill, so we don't have a 35-day billing period or something
Right.
like that.
As they make it more palatable to
Yes.
customers.
Yes, yeah. Once, of course, you never know how much water somebody's going to use, and that varies from the time of the year. But this is something that we was going to have to do in the future, and since these funds become available, we thought in the best interest of the city that to allocate our monies
Yeah.
towards this.
Yeah. Question, Tracy, your current software program, will it accept this without any adaptations?
In fact, it'll make it nicer because being able to pull the readings in once a day.
I know, you don't have to change it, it's ready to take this.
Yeah.
Okay.
She told me she didn't like to talk.
How far past the meter lid will it stick? I'm just worried about lawnmowers and people running over them and.
about the same height of what you have now. You've got, a little plastic thing that sticks through the lid. They're about the same. So,
If it does get hit, how long does it hold the data?
well, I've seen them hit and broken and still keep the readings. the radio will hold 364 days worth of readings. So even if the antenna gets chopped off and it won't read anymore, you're still maintaining the readings. You don't lose anything. If the thing what I like about ours, it's still a classic mechanical meter. We've got an odometer and readings. If the radios just give up entirely, something gets torn up, or you still got an odometer. If you have to, you can flip the lid like you always did, and you've got a reading. So you still have a backup if all the electronics give out on you for some reason. You can still get a reading, you can get your bill out for any one of your customers.
And the battery life is, 10 years.
Well, everything's guaranteed for 10 years. All the electronics, batteries, everything included is covered for 10 years. We kind of get off in the weeds. We actually have field replaceable batteries. So when these batteries do start to give out, the city has an option of replacing batteries at a lot less cheaper than buying a whole new one, which is what a lot of other people
Well, and
offer.
that was the point I was getting at. That was a big selling point. Some of the competitors, you couldn't just go in and change batteries. You had to change it all out.
It's disposable. They
Yeah,
expect you to
yeah.
throw it away and buy a new
So
one.
if we approve this, how soon can we implement this? I mean, it's like 8,800 meters we're talking.
Well,
I guess that's the answer.
That's how quick Scott can hustle.
Well, once they get the infrastructure all set up, I can dedicate 2 people that will be their job from day one going to put these in. They can probably get, once they're trained, anywhere from 20 to 30 to 35 a day. And then when I have free time with my other guys, they'll go out and help them too, so we'll get more on it.
How long is the training process?
That's on them, they.
A day.
what We've seen it,
One day,
it's
okay.
pretty simple to do. It's just more or less entering, get a couple of buttons on the Trimble setup and.
We're doing a meter study right now with that unit and a Badger, and what was the other one?
It was the Zenner.
Yeah.
The Zenner electronics and.
Yes, and the Badger.
Battery body.
So,
Make sure everything is complete.
yeah, we're here again, we're furthering our due diligence here, where, question come from Badger about the authenticity of their product, so, we said, well, we'll test it. We think it's gonna blow up in their face, and that won't be a selling point for them in the future, but that's on them, that's not on us. And,
How long will this take?
should be done this week or next, but, I just wanted to bring them here. This is the committee's recommendation. One of Census does want to come and make a presentation to the council. I don't, that will be up to the council whether we want to do that or not, and have nothing against their product. They make a very good product. But, for 20 years down the line, and some things this product does over theirs, we still could not find anything that swayed us away from Zenner.
Okay.
Actually, Tracy and Scott and Terrence went down to a town in
Alabama.
Ider, Alabama, and seen the system and how it worked with their software. Did they have Harris?
No, they did not.
So Harris is our software for our building.
How many systems do you have out there?
We have over 150 mesh networks
Yeah,
throughout the
yeah.
country.
So,
Jim, this is one thing, I mean, we've been through this exact same process, our other water districts and other communities, and we've implemented projects with this same system, and this is what we would recommend. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, actually, and thank you, Brian. Brian and Joe Boyke have been a part of this, and Joe is kind of the guru for Clarida Ziegler Engineering in this regard, and here again, Brian and Joe, both, when we got to talking about it, the finger pointed to Zinner.
Okay, so we will consider this further when you finish this comparison test.
Yeah, and then, we're gonna have to get the final numbers and everything like
Yeah.
that. The contract's gotta be drawn up, and then that'll
Sounds good.
give Steve something to do, to look at another contract on our behalf.
Anthony, if you accidentally hit one with your mower and knock that antenna off, do you pay for it or the city, or how's that work?
No, you pay for it, and right now, that register cost is $128, but I'm sure it's a little bit more for this. 154, is that what we talked about? Something like that?
159, I believe.
Yeah.
And really, what we can do too, depending on how you guys want to do that, you can replace the whole register or replace it with a splice kit.
Still, we're waiting on the test to come back, and that's,
Now,
we've
we're,
got parts we can work with.
One of the nice things about what we do is we have a lot of options. It sounds confusing because we've got a lot of different prices, but we give the city a lot of different ways to even accommodate them, so
yeah,
there are a lot
but
of
the
different ways.
difference in price and splicing and the entire unit.
It's the way to go.
Yeah, it's the way
My
to go.
concern is, we install this, and then somebody runs over it with a lawnmower. If it had been installed differently, he could have run over it and not hurt it. So, are we going to penalize the water user for hitting something that we installed?
We currently are right now, and have always did that.
The good thing about it is that if somebody does run it over, when Tracy then gets in the office the next day, she's immediately alerted. She knows that meter just got run over, it's bad, she knows.
Sure, but that has to be replaced. Who pays for the replacement?
The customer.
But no, we don't find out.
And so we're charging him because he ran over an installation that we made.
Right.
That does not sound equitable to me.
But he's not paying for that first installation anyway.
What they've currently got right now. So if they always ran over it and didn't hit anything, they won't hit anything this meter.
Yeah.
Almost identical in the height of it off the meter there.
Okay, well, hopefully there won't be any incident.
How many do we actually have a year?
We get several.
I'm sure you would.
I agree. I don't think they ought to have to pay for it.
That doesn't make sense.
But why would, if somebody runs over, now, you know where your meter is in your yard.
Yeah.
It's been there forever. And you know this disc is on top.
Yeah.
Now, why should the city have to, we're gonna put the first one in at no cost to the customer. And if they, whether negligently or by accident, run over, why should we be out $158?
That's something we, I think, ought to address. Now, suppose my wife, who is non-mechanical, but she does know how to operate a self-propelled lawnmower. So she's out here just whizzing along beautifully, and all of a sudden, bang, she runs over this gadget.
I'm going to say you're going to have a lot worse cost associated with repairing your motor than you are that disc.
Yeah, but it isn't fair for me to have to pay 2 times, once for the equipment and once for my mower. Anyhow, that's something I think we need to address, because I don't think it's right, because we install it, and it's because of our installation that the guy runs over it.
No, it's just the way it's installed.
Well, we have installed it, and it is our response. Well, anyhow, that's something we need to address.
Scott, I see that it takes about a year to get these all in place.
Sure.
In the meantime, are they compatible? How are you going to break that into sections, or how do you know what you're reading and not reading?
That'll be separated by when it's entered into her system.
You'll be able.
Actually, what we'll be doing is,
You'll still have to run your trucks for a year, basically read some of them you'll manually read.
But it'll pick up less and less every time.
I understand that, but it'll take a year to get it all put together.
Well,
At 30 a day.
If you put in 35 a day for 30, for the year, it's going to be roughly 1,000.
We're going to work 5 days a week, though. See, I've got you about that.
How old is your oldest system out there? Has any of them been running 10 years yet, or?
Yeah, our first generation mesh stuff is approaching 10 years now.
Every day.
I don't, without overtime, it'll cost you money.
Okay, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Yeah, thank you.
I think it's
Okay.
a good project. I think we ought to do it. We can
What's
get to-
the capitalization policy? What's that about?
This is nothing more than a capitalization policy that we use for the audit. It has no effect on budget at all. We set limits, and we currently have a policy where we set limits on if an item, single item, for instance, costs more than, right now, if it's more than $2,500, then we capitalize that for the audit. In other words, we set it on a depreciation schedule, and we have to depreciate it over its useful life. And what we're wanting to do is to increase that to a more realistic number as the city has grown from $2,500 per item to $5,000. We will still capture, all vehicles and all that kind of information. I went through and kind of did a survey, and most towns our size use a $5,000 capitalization policy, and that's when, so we would increase it from 25 to 5,000. Building improvements is currently at 15, we would keep it there. Infrastructure improvements is currently at 100,000, we would keep it there. Water and sewer improvements, we would increase from 25,000 to 50,000. And then we currently have land improvements at 10,000, and that would stay the same. And then we've added one other item, which we're already using, but it's just not in the policy, is to capitalize any software. And to, instead of expensing software, if any software costs more than $10,000, then we would capitalize it and basically amortize it versus just writing it off. Like I said, this is strictly for audit purposes, has nothing to do with our budget.
Doesn't cost any money.
Doesn't cost any money at all. It's just, in fact, it'll actually streamline our process for the audit.
Yeah.
It won't be quite as burdensome to keep track of all the smaller items.
Very good. What's your recommendation?
That is my recommendation to this policy.
That's your motion?
I'll second.
Got a second? Call the roll.
Commissioner Ranella?
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower?
Yay.
Commissioner Webb?
Yay.
Commissioner Goss?
Yay.
Mayor Butler?
Yay. Okay, what about the Harris Computer Program at the water office? What's that about?
This is just our annual support service with Harris that we do on an annual basis to, just.
Okay, just sort of a renewal. Okay, that's your motion?
Second.
Yes.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Ranella?
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower?
Yay.
Commissioner Webb?
Yay.
Commissioner Goss?
Yay.
Mayor Butler?
Yay. Okay, tell us about the proposal of the Village of Pittsburgh to purchase a fire truck from the city. Who's got that?
Jim.
I'll go ahead and talk about it if somebody may have something else to add. But, we're fortunate to have recently purchased two really nice pumper fire engines, and just everything worked out good there. On the flip side, we have two that we have to get rid of. One of them, as a part of the grant that we got for one of the fire trucks, will go back to Rend Lake College. That leaves one available to transfer to someone else in need. Village of Pittsburgh is extremely interested, and the fire chief has been talking to him about a price, and it looks like $6,500 would be the price that we settled on.
If the Pittsburgh board
Approves,
agrees
yes.
to pay that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that'd be my
What's
motion.
your recommendation?
Yes.
I'll second that.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Ranella?
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower?
Yay.
Commissioner Webb?
Yay.
Commissioner Goss?
Yay.
Mayor Butler?
Yay. Okay, what about the sidewalk out in the hill area?
Okay, this is a TIF paid also, Mayor. We received 7 bidders on this project. The engineer's estimate came in, it was at $266, $428.75. E.T. Simon came in at a low bid of $226,
28.
$228,245.37. That is for some 5-foot sidewalks around the hill area.
How many lineal feet is that?
That was 4,600 something, I think. Let's see here. That's a pretty small print for me right now, but I think it's 4,600.
You know what the footage was?
About 4660.
Yeah, 4660.
Or 660.
Yeah, and then we have another one coming up downtown later. It'll be about 12,000 linear
Yeah.
feet.
Okay.
This goes around from Black Diamond down to the two strip malls. It'll come up through 17th Street. It'll go up the Fairfield Inn, down towards the Culvers and IHOP, and then it'll come all the way back around to the Buffalo Wings and down to Krispy Kremes and Logan's.
Okay.
So it'll be a big improvement then for that area because people right now are walking the streets.
Maybe Brian's indicate where it's going to
Yeah, if you want to take a look where it goes, there, we have the map.
There's one right here.
This will be IHOP and Culver's. And we'll have it walk going all the way there, and go down to here to 17th Street.
That will take care of the pedestrians in that area.
Black Diamond.
Well, after they still up at one of our many restaurants, they can walk it off.
And then we'll cross here, go into Buffalo.
They're thinking about their health.
They eat a lot of fried food and then they go walk it off. Okay.
It's going to be a big improvement, and I look forward to doing it. My understanding, Brian, that if we accept the bids, they can start on this like now.
I think that, yeah, they're very good.
That's what I hear. It'd be my motion, Mayor, to accept a little bit of E.T. assignment for
Second that.
whatever, 220, 228, 245, 37.
Okay, motion made, second, call roll.
Commissioner Ranella?
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower?
Yay.
Commissioner Webb?
Yay.
Commissioner Goss?
Yay.
Mayor Butler?
Okay. Okay. Tell us about Lucas Newton as the library shelfer position at $9 an hour.
Okay, we had, in the Marion Carnegie Library, we had a Kirsten Elston who had resigned, who had been there since she was in high school. And replacing her was a Caitlin Cole, who's been our 20-hour person. She's going to move up to 24 hours a week, which is what Kirsten was doing. And then to replace that position, Lucas Newton would be hired at $9 per hour for a part-time, as a part-time temporary, or part-time employee at 20 hours a week. So it's just replacing one of the positions of part-time that has.
Okay.
I'd make that
What's your
motion.
pleasure?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Call roll.
Commissioner Ranella?
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower?
Yay.
Commissioner Webb?
Yay.
Commissioner Goss?
Yay.
Mayor Butler?
The new employee recommendation.
Okay. Under the hub recommendations, Henry Jones, a lifeguard, at $9.50 an hour, and William Brent Mills, a lifeguard, at $9.50 an hour. Those would be new employees, part-time.
What's your pleasure?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Ranella?
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower?
Yay.
Commissioner Webb?
Yay.
Commissioner Goss?
Yay.
Mayor Butler?
Yay.
We have two employees who are currently lifeguards who Chris Jorgantis, the general manager, would like to move to have an additional job code of lead lifeguard, which when they're assuming their lead lifeguard position would be at $12 per hour. That's Sarah Knowles and Aaron Wood.
What's your pleasure?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Ranella?
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower?
Yay.
Commissioner Webb?
Yay.
Commissioner Goss?
Yay.
Mayor Butler?
Yay.
And then one also with the hub would be a pay change. That would be for an Alec McConnell, who is doing front desk membership and cafe, which would be, was at $8.25, and the others, since we're doing dual duty, they're at cafe and membership, we would move that to $9.
And this may be a different Alec McConnell, but I thought he had left and gone to school.
I thought it was he comes home on weekends. He's
What
working.
about it, Hillary?
He's still here. Yeah, I was going to say, I think he comes back on
Going to
weekends.
school in Nashville, Tennessee?
Yeah. Because
He
you had
means
asked that
he's just
question.
commuting.
It may be.
to Nashville.
Johnny,
Really?
yeah, so he
fair.
works weekend shift, I believe.
Okay, what's your pleasure?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Call roll.
Commissioner Ranella,
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower.
Yay.
Commissioner Webb,
Yay.
Commissioner Goss.
Yay.
Mayor Butler.
Yay. Now, this matter of $12,000.
Okay, I would like for Hillary Holdenhausen to come up.
Oh, that's why Hillary's here, okay.
You know her as Natalie.
Yeah, well, I'm
Natalie.
trying to keep from calling her Natalie, but then I figured she wouldn't know who I was talking to. Okay, what's this Black Friday promotion?
Every year to push for new memberships for the Hub Recreation Center. We kind of get ahead of the New Year's resolution group, and we do a Black Friday event where we waive the enrollment fee and encourage people to sign up for memberships that day. In previous years, the first year before we were even open, we sold 101 memberships. The next year, last year, we sold 106 memberships. If you just give an average of $50 per membership, that equates to 63,600 memberships that were sold last year on Black Friday. So I'm asking for just 12,000.
Stop right there. How many memberships were sold on Black Friday?
106.
Oh, okay.
We typically average 120 in a month, so we sold 106 in a day. So I'm just asking for 12,000 to be able to promote.
So that's what we get for $12,000?
Well, hopefully we'll get that, yes. But this is for commercial production, advertising, airtime, radio ads, things like that, to be able to do that. So essentially, I would only need to sell 20 memberships to cover that. So I think we'll hit 20.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
Call roll.
Commissioner Ranella,
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower.
Yay.
Commissioner Webb.
Yay.
Commissioner Goss.
Yay.
Mayor Butler.
Thank you, Natalie.
Thank you.
Okay. Discussion for creation of additional position in Code Enforcement Office. You want to tell us a little bit, Jim, about the necessity?
Yeah, there's, like I say, there's the two of us down there, or three of us down there, and you guys passed this new ordinance for us, which give us a lot of extra work.
You're talking about the nuisance ordinance?
If we go about that, then we're going to need somebody else to take care of that. So my recommendation was we get another one on, and we're going to split up the duties of the two people that we've got, and let Brian handle all the rental inspections that we've got, which is what he's doing now. But in the meantime, he was having to try to do, and me also, the yards, all the other complaints that we've got. And this new position will be a code enforcement nuisance officer. And he's actually, the person that we had in mind down here that we've got on here is actually now a Secretary of State policeman. So he knows how to write the tickets. And in fact, I ordered 6 new ticket books the other day to start. So there's lots of it out there that, lots of yards out there to be cleaned up and to get rid of the old junk car sitting around town. And if we try to run this ordinance the way it should be run and get the town cleaned up, we just need another.
That would be the responsibility of whoever assumes this position.
Whoever assumes this position, it'd be almost his sole responsibility.
Okay.
And in between, he'll just help out with whatever else we got.
Did you say he currently works for the state or he's retired?
He's currently there now. He's getting ready to retire. He's eligible for retirement and he's ready to leave now.
Okay, well, we need to create a position. That's your recommendation.
That's my recommendation.
My motion.
That's his motion. Second,
I'll second it.
call roll.
Commissioner Ranella,
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower,
Yay.
Commissioner Webb,
Yay.
Commissioner Goss.
Yay.
And Mayor Butler.
Yay. Okay, do we have a job description here?
Yes.
It's attached in your agenda, well, it was laying on your desk, at your desk.
It's in his book.
It's identified as 8B. Jim has worked on these, and Jim and I both. 8B, the first one on top, and then underneath it is the job description. There's 2 pages for the code officer / nuisance
Yeah.
person, the one that will do nuisance. And then the second job description below it would be the one that Brian would assume. So the new job description, so it separates the two positions under Jim, keeping Kathy as the clerk and having a code officer that will deal with rentals, and that is the second job description that's attached. And the first job description, which is entitled 8B, is Code Enforcement Nuisance Officer.
Now, with hiring an additional person, will that be more work on the clerk or or?
No, what we're going to try to do is take some of that part, which she has to handle all of it now, and the new person will handle a lot of that work itself.
Okay.
Of course, keeping the records of it and everything, which she won't have to do anymore.
I don't see the rate.
Because a lot of that nuisance ordinance involves follow-up, maybe giving a ticket or a citation or a warning, then following up. And so a lot of it will be, a lot of it's electronic. I mean, he'll have it.
Complaints will be sent straight to him rather than her having to handle it in place.
Okay.
So that would take a little less scheduling for Kathy and more scheduling for the code nuisance person.
Yes, be better distribution across
Yes.
the board.
And Jim's kind of thought through this. It looks like a good distribution as far as he would still do with all new construction and coordinating with the public works guys on.
Okay, what is the proposed rate of pay?
The rate of pay we had talked about was, if the council would approve it, would be equal, not with longevity, but equal to what Brian is making. And he's like, what, Steve? 21 now?
Oh, he's not paid by the hour, is he?
Yes, he is.
Oh, he does?
An hourly pay.
Oh, I thought he had an annual salary.
No, he doesn't supervise anybody, so it's an hourly job.
Okay. Well, where are we then on this new position? Is this going to be an hourly?
Yes, it would need to be an hourly.
Okay, and what do we pay Brian hourly?
I don't know.
I think it's 21 per hour. I'd have to,
He's 40 plus.
You're thinking about whatever Brian is getting?
yes, I was trying to keep it at the level, Brian might have longevity, yes.
Yeah, I'm going to say less his longevity.
Yes.
Okay.
So that way, because it'd be basically an equal position. That's based on what the council wants to recommend.
Okay, well,
He's in the 40s.
Yeah, I thought he was 40 to 42,000.
I think he is too, maybe 45.
40 to 42,000, yeah.
well, whatever Brian is, we put this guy in at the same level,
Yeah.
or the new employee at the same level, less longevity.
The base would be the same, in other words. You're saying
The base.
he would have the same base, is what you're
Yes.
saying.
Yeah, same base, but,
Yeah.
okay.
That makes it,
Okay.
okay.
What's your pleasure?
I move we approve item B on the hourly rate of pay.
And the job description,
I
Yeah,
thought we already did the job description, didn't we?
No, it's part of B.
that's part, job description, hourly rate of pay, so anyhow, that's your motion.
Yes.
I'll second.
Is there a second?
Jim
Jim
gave
did.
it.
Jim did, call the roll.
Commissioner Ranella,
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower,
Yay.
Commissioner Webb,
Yay.
Commissioner Goss,
Yay.
and Mayor Butler.
Yay. Okay, what about the equipment, whoever has the position?
Jim, do you want to address item C? The equipment needed?
Yeah, we're going to set him up in the office that we've already got down there that we fixed up. We fixed all those offices up when we remodeled downstairs, so we don't have to do that. And we will have to have a vehicle, a computer. I offered to let him have mine, but they wouldn't let me do that. And a computer, an iPad, a phone, and then, like I say, I think that's the four main items that we have to have down there.
Telephone and a cell phone.
Yeah, telephone, computer, iPad, and a vehicle. It's going to
He
be the
can't
main.
function without each of those.
I'm sorry?
He can't function without that.
Not very good. Not in this day and age.
Do we have any of those available?
We may have an iPad available possibly, but other than that, no, we do not.
We threw all our computers away Saturday.
We do have some new computers.
They'll work in the semi.
Oops, sorry, Mayor.
We do have a computer in stock. It would be the telephones that I'd have to order and maybe a couple other additional things, but that's it.
How about the vehicle?
We
don't have
no,
any
we don't keep those.
Well,
Well, I mean.
How about that, wait a minute, how about the,
If the council approves, Jim and maybe Brian can help look for some vehicles and present that to the council at a further meeting.
maybe you could use that
Yeah.
92 fire truck we're selling.
82.
82. Well, I would suggest that you go someplace like Auto Credit and get a good used car.
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't need a new one for sure.
There's no police cars available?
Not that I am aware.
We've got, we have two or three, we have two or three down at the street department for repair. It may be something salvageable, we can look and see.
Well, yeah, if they're
They
not.
ran through the water?
The ones that ran to the water, yeah.
Let's check and see what our inventory shows.
And I'll come back with a
Yeah,
figure on those.
okay, very good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Say it for D,
For what?
item D.
Okay, now,
Did they make a motion on that?
suggest that
Are you going to make a
Greg,
motion on the equipment?
we didn't move on that.
Okay,
They'll come up with whatever,
car later, okay.
whenever they're ready. Okay, what's this about Greg Lynn?
Well, that's my recommendation, that we hire Greg Lynn for this new position. Like I say, he's now working for the Secretary of State, has been for the last 20 years, and he's 50-year-old, and he's ready to retire. His retirement can never go any higher, and he's got kids going to college like everybody else has, and he wants another job. And so he's ready to retire from there and then start in full-time on this position. But he's worked with vehicles and stuff, and that's one of our big problems in Marion, is getting rid of these old junk cars and half cars and all the old lawnmowers and everything else, and that's what he's worked with his whole career.
I think it'd be a good move.
Don't forget, he's a fellow Air Force veteran.
I'm sorry?
He's a fellow Air Force veteran.
He couldn't get in the Army.
Hearing that, you'll pick up everything.
Okay, having said that, what's your pleasure?
We don't feel there's a need to advertise for this position. Hang on here. We don't feel there's a need to advertise for this position.
Oh, heavens, no, good night. I dislike that. You got somebody who's qualified, who's good, who wants a job. Why should you have to advertise to get somebody when you know you're going to hire this guy anyhow? That's unfair to the people that answer the ad. Good suggestion, but to hell with it.
And I second that motion.
That was your motion, and did you second? I'm sure you did.
I did, I made a second.
I think John did.
Thirded it.
Okay, call roll.
Commissioner Manella.
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower.
Yay.
Commissioner Webb.
Yay.
Commissioner Goss.
Yay.
And Mayor Butler.
Yay.
Thank you, Council.
Oh, thank you. Okay, what's this about the Boynton Street Center?
Boynton Street Community Center has a exhaust fan that's over their fire and oven system, and the motor is going out on it. And I have a bid from Fowler Heating and Cooling that is attached to your agenda. To repair it, the simple motor would be $990. However, our fire department has conducted an inspection, and our current exhaust hood system has a violation, so it's not in code compliance. And that is noted in the attached to your behind the Fowler quote that was in your system. So Fowler would replace the system, the hood and the exhaust system, for $12,980. We need to have it installed and working by the end of this month. So we're on to meet inspection requirements.
$12,000.
$980.
They've had issues for a while with that oven, right?
Pardon?
They've had issues for a while with
They have had, and the motor, if you listen to it, it sounds like it's on its last
That's
legs.
for a hood system, believe me.
Oh, yes.
Think so?
I
Okay.
do, and that's my motion to accept it.
Motion made, second, call the roll.
Commissioner Ranella.
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower.
Yay.
Commissioner Webb.
Yay.
Commissioner Goss.
Yay.
And Mayor Butler.
Yay. Okay. Brian Ziegler had submitted a proposed contract, and I hadn't had a chance to really go over it, so it isn't on the agenda, but we'll put it on there for next meeting. In the meantime, once again, Claire Ziegler Engineering have done some work, and they're not charging us for it. The invoice was $166 and a quarter, and the other one was $285. So once again, I think we need to thank Brian for his generosity.
Thank you, Brian.
Okay, next, we need to hear Travis Aiken to present as of our audit solutions for municipal audit programs. So Travis, you want to come up and tell us?
Yeah, what I'm proposing today will help pay for a lot of the things that have been voted on today. I'm working with a company called Asvar Government Solutions, and essentially what this company does is they help municipalities go in and find tax dollars, tax revenue, and make sure that they're getting the money that is owed to them. So they have a sophisticated proprietary software that they use. A lot of the people who work with them are former municipal employees, and so they know all the tricks. They know where the money is hidden, and they go out and find it and make sure that the Department of Revenue and the other companies and utilities and so forth are remitting the appropriate amount of tax dollars to the municipality. They work on a contingency basis, so there's no upfront money. The audit is usually completed in about 3 or 4 months, 6 months, depending on how complicated it is, and they don't get paid until you start receiving money. And so they also will help you track down the money that's owed. They work with the municipalities, so it's not like you get this report and say, here's all the money that's owed to you from these different taxing sources, and then it's up to you to go out and track it down. They have lawyers on staff. They have people who have worked with these companies and worked with the state to help track the money down. And so it's in their interest to make sure that you get the money collected, because then that's when they get paid for their work. So the standard contract, which I have given you guys all a copy of the contract. Basically, it's a revenue sharing. The city gets 55% of any money that's found. They get 45% for 36 months. After the 36-month period is over, the city collects 100% of whatever they find. They also go back and find money in arrears as well. So whatever is past owed within the statute of limitations, they're able to track that those monies down as well, and then help adjust your books moving forward. And they have never encountered a situation where everything was completely perfect. They almost always find discrepancies and errors that they are able to help municipalities collect. In some instances, in the city of O'Fallon, for instance, they found over $1 million for the city of O'Fallon that was not owed to them. They had some that was owed to them that they weren't getting. They had a situation in O'Fallon where they were growing, the community was expanding, they had some annexation. They sent in notifications to the different utilities and the different companies that were supposed to be remitting taxes to the city of O'Fallon, and those notifications weren't being acted upon. And so they found quite a few errors and quite a few discrepancies and recovered well over $1 million for the city of O'Fallon. So, you know, it just depends on what's out there. At the end of this process, you will know that you're getting everything you're owed, and if it's a small amount, then you know that you're basically getting an audit for very little money. And as you know, outside audits can be very, very costly and can also and you have to pay that money up front. With this, you don't get paid, they don't get paid until you start receiving money. So they do all the work for free up front, and you will know exactly what's going on with your tax receipts. And it's a comprehensive. It's layer after layer after layer. It's your utility taxes, your sales tax, everything. They do an exhaustive investigation to make sure to represent you and your interests, to make sure you're getting every dollar that's owed to you. And I think with you know, the expansion and growth of the city, this is a perfect time to make sure you're getting every dollar that's due to you. And with the state of Illinois, who knows what's going on with the state budget? Who knows if you're going to be, you know, you're certainly not getting your money necessarily on a timely basis, and that's always in jeopardy. Your local government funds are always in jeopardy in Springfield. I think this is an opportunity to tell the taxpayers of Marion that you're doing everything possible to make sure you're getting the money that's coming to the city, and you'll have the paper to prove it if you engage with As-of-Our Audit Solutions. So with that, I'm happy to take any questions. I don't want to take up too much of your time.
Something like that sounds to me like it might tie up a lot of time with the city employees trying to...
No, they have the ability to track this information down, and they make a point not to take up employee time. That's one of the selling points. That's one of the things that we mentioned with the mayor a couple of weeks ago when we met with him. They do not require a lot of work with city employees.
They do a lot of it electronically, I guess? It's
all done with them and their software. They just have some basic information that they need to get, and once they have it, they go to town.
What kind of basic information would they need?
They have access to the databases with all the addresses and information, so they would just need to double check the boundaries, the corporate boundaries of the town, make sure that information is accurate, and then they match everything up with their database to make sure that everyone in that area is, all the different taxes are going to the right place. So they have the software, they have the manpower and the ability to do that. So they really don't need anything other than an understanding of what the boundaries are, so that they can match that up with their data.
What are some of the other towns that they work with besides O'Fallon?
They have over 150 municipalities. They've worked with Godfrey. They're working with Craneville here locally. Tomorrow evening in Johnson City, I'm meeting with their city council. West Frankfurt's looking at it, as well as Harrisburg here locally.
Contract with Rock Island?
What was the question?
I don't know the answer to that question. I'll have to get that for you.
I asked if they still had a contract with Rock Island.
Oh.
What about Park Ridge?
I'd like to say something. I think something like this would probably, if Travis could get with Steve and then probably get with myself, since you're talking audits and software, and let us have a look at it and see what's going on, and then maybe come back to the council.
Yeah, you would want to get William Barrett involved, because me and William's working on telecommunications right now.
Okay, so
And William
there's a
and I
lot
work
more
on
pieces to the puzzle, and you're talking about getting our databases and doing a lot of things.
No, they have the information. They have a database of all the tax records that they have imported into their software. And I'm not a tech person. I don't know exactly how they do their magic. All I know is that with regards to how they perform their business, they do not they do not take up time with staff people to do the business. They get the information they need from a variety of different sources. They layer the tax codes, make sure that everything is being remitted to the right place, and then they generate a report, an audit report that shows whatever their findings are. So they'll find for instance, you might find a dealership, a car dealership that's sucking up a bunch of money that's not being paid to the local municipality. Those taxes might be paid somewhere else. So they go in and they make those, find those errors. They report on it. They give you a copy of that report, and then they work with you to go and track down the money. Now, they not only find the money going forward, but they also find money in arrears as well. And the sooner you sign up, the more opportunity you have to recover past tax revenue because of the statutes of limitations with tax money in arrears. And, it can be...
What is that limitation?
Well, it varies. I think, like with utility taxes, I think it's something like 6 months or so. But I don't know the answer off the top of my head. I can find that for you. But I mean, there's different limitations, and they work within the law to legally go back and recover money that should have been paid that hasn't been paid. And they work, they work with Ameren, they work with, cable companies and the different utilities out there to recover this money.
I guess one of my concerns is that, the comptroller's office has got a similar program that can help you collect past debts, but well, hang on here, it's not where I'm going. They needed some very personal information to do that. Is that not right, Tracy? And then, what liability do we have giving out personal information,
What kind of personal information would there be?
That's what I'm asking him. Yeah.
I mean,
he was asking for address.
This is they have over 150 clients. They've done this successfully for municipalities up and down the state of Illinois and some in Missouri. They are a third-party vendor like anyone else. They come in, they do the job.
Are you saying that?
Go ahead.
Are you saying that because of the amount of clients they had, that surely they did their due diligence to make sure that they're within compliance?
Trust me. They know what they're doing. They work within the law. They work within the scope of what information is available to track this information down. And they don't reveal proprietary information. I mean, it's an honorable company. I've been working with them for over a year now.
Unless they're hacked by the Russians.
Well,
or margin pound.
I mean, it comes down to, I mean, they never come back with zero. Now, some clients, the numbers are pretty small, but in some cases, the numbers are pretty large.
Well,
and
some, if not all of the information, would be available by filing a FOIA request. Would that not be so?
When it comes to sales tax, one would probably have a like sales tax. It would have to go by whether or not for instance, you have a retailer who's filing his old, he's in the county, and he's really within the city limits. I'm not sure how they can tell how that retailer's filing or not, you know. But any information a retailer sends to the state of Illinois, that is considered private information and is not voidable.
Yeah, well, I think proprietary information would be exempt. Proprietary information, I would expect, would be exempt, but I can't believe that there would be other things that would not be exempt.
You know, it might be that the council would want the company to come into a formal presentation to get more information and questions, because I've heard their presentation before, and they are a very professional company and have probably a more detailed background and can discuss their contract.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to get some referrals that I can talk to other towns.
That's what, yeah.
See how they like the company, how they actually.
Well, okay, I think Travis mentioned a couple, three.
Yeah, I mean, I can bring them down and you know, we can discuss the nuts and bolts of how it works. I mean, I don't work on the audit side, so I'm not
Like the contract.
involved in that.
He'd like to have some references.
Yeah. I mean, Mayor Graham over in O'Fallon is a huge fan. You know, Langenfelter over in Springfield. You know, they recovered thousands of dollars from different utility taxes that wasn't going to the city of Springfield. So I mean, there's all kinds of people who would be willing to. You know, provide a comment or whatever based on their experience with the company.
Yeah, well, in your brochure here, you talk about Rock Island. $133,000 was recovered there, but Rock Island is one town that is mentioned. Didn't you say something about Godfrey a while ago?
Yeah.
Yes, Godfrey, Mayor McCormick over there. They're our clients as well.
Godfrey at O'Fallon?
Godfrey and O'Fallon, yeah.
Yeah.
Steve, you questioned the contract with Rock Island. Do you have a reason for that?
While he was talking, I Googled and I saw that it was on their agenda back in 2012.
Okay.
And I was curious if they were still using it.
Okay.
Well, if they're caught up and there isn't anything more to hunt for, I assume that they would not be any more active.
That may be true.
So anyhow, there are two or three that we can, I think, inquire.
Travis, do they normally, these municipalities usually sign like a one-year contract, two-year contract, or do you know?
Well, their standard fee is, you know, for 36 months.
Okay.
Revenue sharing 45-55, depending on what you get. Like I said, they don't start billing until you start receiving, start collecting
45,
money.
55, which way?
55 for
55 to the city, 45 to the company.
For how many years?
For 36 months. And then after 36 months, the 100% goes to the municipality.
One thing for the council's sake is currently our GIS coordinator has, we do a quarterly audit with Marion and add and delete houses and residences according to our city boundaries. And so Marion is very much up to date as far as...
on the geographical aspect, but that doesn't mean that they are necessarily collecting and paying on the money.
Well,
That's very true.
The audit comes from Marion.
That makes
That's pretty good. The fox is in the hen house looking after the hens.
The
Yeah.
addresses are verified,
Yeah.
the addresses are verified
makes us
by our
comfortable, doesn't
GIS
it?
coordinator.
Yeah, and those are some of the problems that you know, Asvar has found is that you have situations where, well, like the city of O'Fallon, they're sending in these notices about annexing and all of that, and there's actually public testimony where the utility companies were saying, we received the notifications, we just threw them away. So, I mean, you know, trust me, you know, Ameren Marion and other companies, they want to say that they're up to date and that they're doing you a favor. But this company has shown that time and time again that there are mistakes made and errors made, and they find them. I mean, that's what they do.
Yeah. Okay, did we have a request maybe for your people to come and fill in some of the details that we were discussing?
Yeah. Like I said, I don't work on the audit side, so I'm not going to.
I think we would like to
speak on that part of it.
Okay, that being the case, why don't we let this lay, and maybe your people can come to our next meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll talk to them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sounds good. Okay, anybody else have something that we need to take up? Okay, if not, I think there is a motion in order after you. Give us your good news.
Yes. As you know, Saturday, we had our electronic recycling. It was a huge success, to say the least. We filled up a semi-tractor trailer full of electronics. One of the things that stood out was our first customer was a gentleman who picked up TVs off the side of the road off Oak Hill Road. And, that's just exactly what this program was designed to do is we'll pay for it. Just don't throw it in somebody's, ditch or something like that. So, I think she said, just roughly estimating, she figured we had somewhere between 12 and 15,000 pounds that we collected. So, and
gee whiz, my TV set would take care of half of it.
Well, we didn't have room for yours, so that's why we didn't come and get it. So, but one thing that was good, and Alice hooked us up with these young gentlemen. We had some Boy Scouts from Troop 42, and just as soon as the car would pull up, Steve can attest to this, they were right there, and it was curbside service at its best. And they worked very hard and did a great job for us, and so I commend Boy Scout Troop 42 for their efforts. I want to thank Doug Phillips for supplying us with some equipment and men to help load the electronics up after it was all collected. If you see these guys work, you can tell they've been to the rodeo before, because they're stacking electronics and on different pallets, wrapping them, and then loading them as they see fit. But it was a huge success. I hope this is something that the city keeps going for many years to come. And Commissioner Goss, I thank you for your help in this, and I think it bodes well for the city.
I agree with that, and for transparency, the Boy Scout is Alice's son and grandson among those. So we owe her the thanks for getting them down there.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're most welcome.
Okay, what else you got?
I would like to pay the monthly bills as funds become available.
That's your
my
motion?
motion, yes.
Second.
Call roll.
Commissioner Vanilla,
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower.
Yay.
Commissioner Webb,
Yay.
Commissioner Goss.
Yay.
And Mayor Butler.
Yay. What else?
And I make a motion to pay the consent agenda.
Second.
Call roll.
Commissioner Vanilla,
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower.
Yay.
Commissioner Webb.
Yay.
Commissioner Goss.
Yay.
And Mayor Butler.
Yay. Anything else?
I have one more important announcement.
Make-
After the meeting, there's cookies and brownies in honor of Commissioner Webb's and Commissioner Goss's birthday this week.
One of them had a birthday last week, and the other is this week. So, happy birthday to you.
Actually, John give up his birthday to be there at the electronic recycling.
That's right.
So-
Dedicated
Yes.
Commissioner. And very frugal, I might add also.
Who are we talking about?
Me.
That's all for me.
That's all.
Okay, what do you say?
I have a question / suggestion. What's the policy on burning leaves in the city?
Oh,
On burning leaves, and like grass and leaves?
Well, maybe you need to ask the guy that wrote the ordinance. That would be me.
Okay.
You can,
I thought I wrote that.
What's that?
You cannot burn them in the...
yeah, don't burn them on our streets.
Can't burn them on the street
You can burn,
to 6 o'clock in the evening.
yeah, it's 9 to 6 or 8 to 6?
I think it's, I
Well, it doesn't matter in
Yeah.
the morning, it's the evening. And then, one other item, you can't burn if the wind is blowing more than 10 miles an hour. And everybody has a wind gauge, so we know that can be.
No, no, that's,
You do it.
it actually doesn't specify a mileage, but it, you write an ordinance and he's got to go through it, so what's it say, to a prudent person or something like that? Yeah, you can't burn if it's in excess of
10 miles an hour.
to a prudent
The
person.
reason I ask is that there's been complaints about why we even allow it at all. I mean, can we restrict it or abolish it altogether? I know Mount Vernon has an ordinance like that, so.
Yeah, but Mount Vernon is off the map. They don't know what
Actually,
they're doing.
now here's the whole key to it. You can only burn natural byproducts
Yard
from your yard. You can't go to the neighbor's yard and rake leaves and bring them over to your yard. You shouldn't. It's stuff in your yard that falls out of your trees.
I mean, sometimes there's one side of town that's just a big mist of smoke, and it just
Yeah.
causes respiratory issues for people, and
Yes, it does, and that's
And it's a
why we
problem.
ask people to be prudent in their burning, and if it affects their neighbors, and that's one thing that, as past fire chief, that bothered me, people didn't care about their neighbors. And of course, they always wait and burn when it's the windiest.
so burning
then-
leaves, Tracy.
which causes another issue, but you need to think about that. This is the time of year that temperatures are down, people like to open their windows, air out their houses from the air conditioner being on all summer, and you need to take into consideration of them, plus any health issues they may have, and Lord forbid somebody had clothes out on their clothesline in the yard and they smelled like a burnt leaf.
You got to be careful what you're burning too. You and I both know you got hurt pretty bad about a week ago.
Yeah.
And from an aerosol can or something was in a brush pile, and it can blow up on you, so
Yeah.
use extreme
Yes.
caution.
Yeah, it's
Didn't know that.
But one thing, you can't legislate common sense.
no.
You have to remember that. And then there is something written someplace, look after your neighbor as yourself.
Yeah.
So
Well,
how's that for a moral lesson?
Where did you read that? I know it didn't come from your heart.
Okay, enough is enough.
I think Don Trump said it last night.
Okay, what do you got, Angelo?
No, that's it.
Jim?
Activity report for the police department for September, we had 12 city ordinance violations, 17 warrant arrests, 115 traffic accidents.
Accidents?
Yes. 5 DUIs, and 146 ambulance calls. So he's busy in September with the police.
Boy, I don't know if that's good.
That's 911 ambulance calls, that's not.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, John.
I have nothing.
Good for you. Unexpected, but good for you.
I could give you a cemetery report if you want.
No, everybody's dead out there. We don't need,
Okay.
I hope they're dead.
One of them said he wasn't, but you know how they are sometimes.
Okay, I think now a motion would be in order.
Make that motion.
Second.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Vanella?
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower?
Yay.
Commissioner Goss?
Yay.
Commissioner Webb?
Yay.
And Mayor Butler.
Yay.
Well,
Kids, it's been fun, by golly.
yeah, it's been good.
Yeah.
It was fun. We're gonna go eat a cookie.
You got milk?
Yeah, we're
You got any milk?
getting up there.
Alice. Get this out of the way, Mayor.
Yeah, I can't eat brownies without milk, or ice cream at least.
You guys are
Stable or improving, or what's
Let me go
the-
behind.